Visit us online at burningrubberradio.com for recipes from the NASCAR chef, John Dix, and more great content.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, that dang old internet, man, you just go on there and point and click, 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 click. It's real easy, man.
Now back to more Burning Rubber Radio.
And we're back for another Gas and Go on a Friday, and you're probably looking to my right here, and you're like, who's this crazy son of a so-and-so? It's Andrew Lee.
In the flesh, baby.
Yeah, the NASCAR chef. I think he got too busy on the grill, Andy. I don't know what's going on with old John today, but we don't have him. So
you got me, baby, and we're going to talk all about what's going on at Texas this weekend, some NHRA stuff, and we're in and out, bud.
Yep, we're in and out. It's Gas and Go. And speaking of the big news right off the top here, the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg, everybody knows it's the kickoff to the IndyCar season for 2026 has officially announced their date, and it is going to be the weekend of February the 27th through March the 1st.
And Burning Rubber Radio will be there, baby.
Oh, yeah. I tell you what, though, the one time I heard about the tickets down there for, I can't remember if it was St. Peter, if it was the Grand Prix of Miami for Formula One, where... I think it was Miami, because I know even Taylor had confirmed this for us. Taylor Burris, by the way, where tickets just for the general seating area were like, or no, not general seating, but like hotels and stuff like that. We're going for
we're crazy down there,
like $125,000 for the weekend. I'm like,
that's
what?
That's definitely not the St. Pete Grand Prix, and
no.
We'll be taking you down there behind the scenes and everything like we have done in the past. So that'll be fun.
Very cool stuff. And then moving on into the world of NASCAR, and this is big news here all the way around, Andy. We saw Connor Zilich's wreck this past weekend in Talladega, and that is going to affect this weekend coming up at Texas Motor Speedway, as Zilisch will be out with a back injury, and Kyle Larson is going to jump into the number 88 machine for him.
Yep, Kyle Larson's going to go out and try to steal the Busch Series kids' lunch money again.
I mean, hey, he did it at Bristol.
He sure did. He spanked them.
Yeah, he did. Almost a shame he could have done it in the Truck Series and got that clean sweep.
Yeah,
but, I mean, hey, mistakes happen. What are you going to do, right? And actually, speaking of the Truck Series, got a little bit of news there as well, too. And long time, not long time, but long time based on his career path, I should say. Carson Hocevar is going to be getting ready to jump back into a Craftsman truck as well. Spire Motorsports is bringing what they consider some additional firepower to tonight, so Friday, if you're watching us later on in the weekend or audio video on demand. The SpeedyCash.com 250 at Texas Motor Speedway will field 4 entries for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series from Spire, and one of those being Hocevar.
All right. I wonder if Rowdy's out there tonight.
I have not heard. Let me look over at the entry list here. Let's see. So regulars Raja Kruth's going to be there. Anshere Perez de Lara. Carson Hocevar will make his first start in the series since 2023, when he picked up his the first of 4 Truck Series victories at the 1.5 mile track. No, I don't see that Kyle Busch's name is on the entry list, but then again, NASCAR, they like to surprise people too and not show the entire list.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? And actually, speaking of other interesting news, Andy, we were just talking about NHRA there in the open for a hot second. So Route 66 Raceway, or Route 66 Dragway, whichever way you prefer to look at it, that news actually came out earlier today as well, where the NHRA is officially celebrating 25 years of going to Route 66 Raceway, which is big news, in its own right, because we saw the 1,000th Top Fuel race this past weekend at the ZMAX 4 Wide Nationals at ZMAX Dragway in Concord. We saw Tony Stewart make a little bit of history in the last couple of weeks. So why not just add to another history-making season by adding in a quarter of a century by going to the same dragway every single year?
Yeah, I agree. You mean dragway, not driveway.
No, I said dragway.
Okay.
I know my country accent might make it sound like I'm saying driveway, but I'm just saying dragway.
Okay.
Oh, man, it's a fun.
Oh, my gosh.
Either which way, folks. But moving on here real quick, last little bit of stuff we're going to cover here for the Gas and Girl before Texas Motor Speedway weekend. And this weekend, speaking of points championships and other fun stuff like that here, start with the Craftsman Truck Series since they are running tonight. And that being Corey Heim in the 11 truck, still on top of the leaderboard. Chandler Smith is still second position overall. Tyler Ankrum up 1 to third. I almost said Denny Hamlin.
Denny Hamlin.
No. Oh, my God. Daniel Hemrick up 1 to fourth. Lane Riggs has been up 1 to fifth and rounding out the top 5 there. Ty Majeski 6th, down 1 position. Jake Garcia up 1 to 7th. Grant Enfinger down 1 to 8th. Caden Honeycutt up 2 to 9th. And Stuart Friesen, and Andy, you and I talked about this on last week's Gas and Go with Talladega coming up. You know, there was talk that HFR, Homer Friesen Racing over in Statesville might potentially have thought about wrapping everything up and just calling it quits.
He was all this. I'm sure things may have changed.
Yeah. I pass by the shop every morning, and from what I could tell, they're still actively working in there. So I think it's just Stewart in a moment of frustration and just got to give the guy time to cool off. You know,
that's understandable, man. So that's cool.
But Stewart down 2 spots so far in the 10th spot in the championship standings, 127 points out of the top spot here. And then, of course, 2 other notable names here. Up 2 spots to 11th, that being rookie Gio Ruggiero, who comes from a little bit of a racing pedigree as well, from the World of Outlaws series. So it's good to see Gio Ruggiero doing pretty well. And then 1 Benjamin Rhodes in the 99 truck is down 3 spots to 12th. So.
Okay, well, that's the truck series.
Yep, that's the truck series. And, of course, folks, they will be live tonight at Texas Motor Speedway, Friday, May 2nd at 8 o'clock on FS1. And actually, you know what's interesting, Andy? This weekend is the literal FS1 weekend for everything. So Cup and trucks are both on FS1 this weekend, while Texas for the Xfinity Series is on its new permanent home of the CW.
And, they supposedly are getting great numbers over at CW. Mm-hmm. I don't watch them on the CW, I'll be honest with you. But, however, something you said last week, you were right about. The ARCA Series you thought should have gotten about 1 million views because of our boy over there, Mitchell, running that race. Mm-hmm. And you know what? You were right. 960,000 people watched that, and that's Garrett Mitchell over there. You know, Cletus
McFarland, and but yeah, Garrett Mitchell. You know, all the cool stuff that he did from this past weekend at Talladega. You know, almost hitting 1 million pairs of eyes watching that race, or at least 1 million different TV sets that were tuned into that race was absolutely phenomenal. The ARCA Series has deserved that kind of viewership, in my opinion, for a long time. And now, call me crazy, but, and I know you will anyway, but, here's my thinking on this, is that realistically, I think that's what's also affected the car count turnout when it comes to the ARCA Series, because they look at it, they're like, well, not a whole lot of people are coming to the race. They're not really watching the race on TV, so why should we even bother racing in the series?
Yeah, I hear you. Now, talking about the ARCA Series, folks, we do have a confirmed guest for next Wednesday. That's Josh White, who is running the ARCA Series. You okay?
You might see some foggy coming your way in about 2 seconds.
Oh my God, man, that's nasty. But anyway, we got Josh White confirmed for next Wednesday. He's going to be talking to us about his possible return to the ARCA Series. I'm not gonna put anything out there other than that. And Josh, who we've been following ever since 2015, is your perennial underdog, let me tell you. So it's going to be fun. Burning Rubber Radio is going to be right there in covering his comeback and everything. So I'm trying to tell him, hey, man, if you're going to be on Burning Rubber Radio, we're going to start charging people a little decal on their C-pillar or something.
Yeah, there you go. That'd be pretty fun stuff. And I mean, realistically, I mean, that'd be a great promotional tool for us too. It'd be like, hey, I was on Burning Rubber this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like those bumper stickers. Be like, I've been to the OBX. No, you got to get it right. I've been on Burning Rubber,
baby.
Oh man, but
baby.
Oh, yeah, Burning Rubber, baby. You know what's funny? My youngest niece, she watches the episodes when they go up on YouTube and everything like that. And Andy's had the pleasure to talk with my nieces and stuff like that. But this kid, man, even at 10 years old, she's always like, Burning Rubber, baby.
That's so awesome, man. Oh my Lord.
And but moving on here, we got to talk about Xfinity real quick, getting ready for Texas weekend. They will be live Saturday, May the 3rd, so that'd be tomorrow at 2 o'clock on the CW. Justin Allgaier on top of the points, Austin Hill second, Sam Mayer down one spot to third. Jesse Love, after the disqualification in last week at Talladega, he is in fourth place. Carson Kvapil, the rookie, is fifth. Connor Zilisch is in sixth right now, up one spot. Now, granted, of course, he'll probably take a hit in the points, knowing that he is out with that back injury this week.
However, NASCAR has granted a waiver, so he's still playoff eligible.
That fantastic news to hear. So, yeah, even if he does take a hit in the points, playoff eligibility still does exist for Connor Zilisch. Brandon Jones in seventh, down one spot. Sammy Smith is eighth overall. Jet Burton ninth, up two spots. And Sheldon Creed rounds out the top 10 when it comes to Xfinity points. And then no real big news for the NASCAR Cup Series this weekend heading into Texas. But if there's any late-breaking stories, obviously you can find them on our Facebook page. We'll have them there for you. William Byron, Kyle Larson, Hendrick Motorsports 1-2 on the top of the point standings there. Denny Hamlin in third, down one. Chase Elliott up one to fourth. And Christopher Bell down two to number 5. So you've got 3 HMS and 2 JGR rounding out your top 5. Tyler Reddick from 2311 in sixth. Bubba Wallace in 2311. And again, I know I'm a bit of a Bubba Wallace hater, and I know folks may not like me, constantly what they feel bashing against Bubba. I just want to see the guy continue to do as good as he was doing the first part of this season. He's kind of fallen off the last few races. I want to see him continue to do good. I want to have a reason to cheer for the guy a little bit,
Watch out this weekend at Texas. The cat can run good there.
And you know what? I hope to see that happen. But as far as point standings go, 2311's Tyler Reddick and Bubba Wallace, 6th and 7th respectively, both up one spot as well. Ryan Blaney down 2 spots to 8th. Alex Bowman, the showman, is 9th. And Ross Chastain rounds out the top 10 in 10th place, 143 points outside of the top spot. And with that being said here, folks, that is Gas and Go for this weekend, heading into Texas Motor Speedway. And with that, we will be back on Monday for the wrap-up from Texas Motor Speedway. We'll have everything truck, Xfinity, Cup, and any other fun news that just happens to come across the desk here. But for Andrew DeLay, I am producer Wayne. We will see you guys on Monday.
Burning Rubber, baby.
Yeah.